What I want to talk about in this video is about safety in the therapy room. So many therapists advertise on their profiles and online directories that they offer like a safe space for therapy. And what could happen is you might enter into therapy, whether it's by yourself or with your partner, and feel unsafe. Now, there is a difference with feeling unsafe because you are trying something new and your nervous system is going to be activated with this, or not feeling safe with the therapist. So when you are going into therapy or you're going into couples therapy, the feeling that can come up of unsafety is around you're doing something new. You're doing something different and you're talking to somebody about the difficulties that you're experiencing or that you're experiencing in your relationship. You're also being really vulnerable and you're talking about things that you might not talk about every day, and that's not always going to feel safe. If you're having couples therapy and your partner is there, you're talking about these things in front of your partner, and what can come up with that is worry and fear. Are they still going to love me? Are they still going to stay with me? Is this going to start an argument? Will this be brought up after the session? So that might not feel safe in some ways as well. And other aspects of it not feeling safe is if you are having difficult conversations with your partner, in particular in couples therapy, where there might be a lot of tension. It might be things that you've not spoken about before, or every time you've even touched on it, it has brought up an argument. So in those ways, it may not feel safe, as in you're not going to go in, it's going to be a breeze and you're going to sit there and just drink your coffee and have a lovely, wonderful time and leave your therapy session going, God, that was the best thing ever. That was so relaxed. Can't wait till next week. That doesn't always happen. You might leave feeling vulnerable or slightly exposed or wondering, like, was that okay to say that? And that's then what you talk about in your next therapy session together. What is really important in terms of safety is that you feel safe with the therapist. Again, your nervous system is going to be analysing everything with the new therapist, because you're going to be thinking, is this person safe? Are they capable of holding what I'm bringing? Are they going to be steady for me? Are they going to be steady enough to support me through the challenges that I'm having right now? And that is what is really important. And you will pick up on if you feel safe with that person, if they feel really capable and potent to work with you. And that is really, really important. That when you feel unsafe, because you're talking about something hard, you're talking about something vulnerable, something difficult, that you know that they have got you and that you're okay with them and that they will support you to help you come into regulation, to help you go down that path that's a really, really scary path, to talk about something that you've never been able to talk about, but hold you in a safe container to explore this in a titrated way, but to fully be there with you. And if you're going as a couple in your relationship, that you are supported together. And that is what is important when you're looking at safety in therapy. Because if the therapist is, of course, practicing in a way that is unethical or not boundaried, or you don't feel like they are consistent, then your nervous system is going to pick up on that. Sometimes it can happen if the therapist reminds you of somebody who maybe wasn't safe, and it doesn't mean that the therapy wasn't safe or the therapist isn't safe, but if they remind you of somebody who perhaps wasn't safe in your past. And this is what we'd call transference if this comes up in the therapy sessions, in which case you can actually talk to your therapist about this. And they can work with you to show your nervous system that they are not that same person who was in your past, who they might look like. And I don't even mean look like completely. It might just be their eyes, their mouth, their hair, something. Just something that gives a slight flavour. So those things can be talked about with your therapist. But in terms of feeling safe in your therapy, whether it's by yourself or with your partner or partners, you might not always feel that complete safety, because it is vulnerable work. It's not easy. There have been times I've gone to my own therapy sessions, and although I know that my therapist is a very safe, capable, competent, potent person who will hold me in that therapeutic space, it isn't always safe when talking about the things that are so hard for me, and that is normal. So when we're talking about safety, it's not just as clear cut as we need to feel 100% safe in a session, because that doesn't happen like that. But what you will be doing is showing your system it is safe for me to be open about these things that feel really vulnerable to me. It is safe for me to talk about the things that are difficult and the challenges that I have and the worries and fears that I have, or the trauma that I've experienced, and I can still be cared about. I can still be loved, and I can still feel safe and protected within myself with the support of this person. So I hope this is something that you can take when you are looking at choosing a therapist or entering into therapy, and know that there'll be so many aspects that your nervous system is looking out for. Our nervous systems are always looking for what's safe, dangerous, life-threatening every single second of every single day. And that includes when you go and see a therapist. That's completely normal. It's your nervous system doing its job. But it's just checking in with yourself of what parts of this doesn't feel safe. Is it that it's the therapist, or is it that I'm being vulnerable, but I know that they've got me and they're holding me in this?